When it comes to filmmaking, there's nothing more subjective than comedy. Comedy is the fuel that binds us all together. And as a result, choosing your favorite comedy makes you choose who you are as an individual. You know what? Fuck that pretentious video essay shit. Let's talk about Jackass.
Are about to do a little duck cutting. Whoa!
Santa did have a couple last night, so this ain't gonna feel too good.
How much? How you been? High five!
There's two completely different sides to Jackass. There's the side I'm on, which thinks it's absolutely hilarious and one of the best comedic things out there ever. And then you have the other side who complains about millennials thinking this is absolutely hilarious and how we're all brain dead and how we're just doomed as a society. I was kind of late to the game when it came to loving Jackass. I didn't really get into it until the third movie came out. But I was at FYE. I think it was like the only time I've ever been to an FYE for some reason. And I was just strolling around. I saw Jackass 3 on DVD for like, I don't know, $5. And this was still around like 2011. Like around the time it was released, and I was like, you know what, I'll check it out, I'll see what it's about. And I became absolutely obsessed with it. There was a point in my life where I watched Jackass 3 every single day for about 3 weeks in a row one summer. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and even to this day, it's one of the few comedies that will still make me laugh every single time. And yeah, there's comedies out there that I'll laugh at when I see them, but after a while they just get old and they're not as funny anymore. There's a couple of exceptions, and those exceptions are my favorite comedies of all time, and the Jackass movie trilogy is one of those exceptions. And yeah, I know they don't really count as like movies if you want to be pretentious about it, but they are these comedic experiences that I just find so unique, even though they're so simple. Like, it's just a simple concept of people just doing stupid shit, but the stupid shit they do gets taken to such an extreme that I can't not appreciate it. Like putting a guy named Steve-O in a porta potty that gets shot up in the air by bungee cords and then watching him like eat the shit. Like, who the fuck comes up with that? And yeah, they've done a ton of other shit that is super funny or just super cringe and makes you want to gag, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's what makes Jackass Jackass. There's plenty of videos out there where people do stupid shit all the time, and while it's still funny, it doesn't have the same impact as Jackass, because Jackass has something that even a lot of dramatic movies that try hard to win Oscars can't do. They give you great characters, and more specifically, great believable relationships between characters. Because let's be real, what makes Jackass so rewatchable is because you actually like all these people. Whether it's Johnny Knoxville, whether it's Ben Margera, whether it's Ryan Dunn, whether it's Steve-O, whether it's Wee Man, whether it's Preston, whether it's Chris Pontius, all these people are just so funny, and they all have their unique personalities that make them shine compared to the rest. Just this entire dynamic between the entire team creates this amazing sense of comedy that most modern comedies can never achieve. Just seeing the genuineness, if genuineness is a word, between these guys makes the pranks more enjoyable. Because now the stunts aren't the only funny thing in the movie. When you add the reactions of the friends of the people going through this wild shit, it makes it 10 times funnier. And it's kind of been proven that the dynamics of the entire Jackass team is what makes it so successful. Because recently you've had Bad Grandpa, which, let's be real, everyone kind of forgot about Bad Grandpa, even though it wasn't a terrible movie. Action Point just came out. I was entertained for the most part. I don't think Action Point's a good movie, but I was definitely entertained. That's kind of where it ends though. And I was disappointed because, spoiler alert, because literally no one saw this fucking movie. And I completely blame the marketing team, because even I, a huge Jackass fan, didn't even know this existed until about a month ago. But back on topic, the spoiler is there's no cameos from anyone in the Jackass team in Action Point. Yeah, Johnny Knoxville leads the cast, and Chris Pontius is actually a really good comedic actor, but I went in expecting to see like a Wee Man cameo, and I didn't even get that. I didn't get a Steve-O cameo, I didn't get a Bam cameo, I didn't get anything, and that was kind of disappointing for me as a fan. And I like this idea that if Jackass 4 is never a thing, at least you can incorporate Jackass into these narrative-driven films. I think that's a good idea. But to pull that off, I think you have to get back to the root of what made Jackass so great. Yes, the more extreme the stunts, the better. That's clearly a selling point of the entire franchise. So if Action Point was more extreme, yeah, it would probably bring in some more revenue. But that's second to the main cast being together again as like a family. And I know that sounds corny as fuck, but that's really what makes Jackass Jackass for me. There's been talks of some people in the Jackass crew wanting to make a Jackass 4 really bad and others not really into it as much because, let's be real, these guys went through hell. A lot of them went through some really bad problems and finally got out of it. So it makes sense why someone would be hesitant to do a Jackass 4. But if that's the case and you want to make more movies like Action Point, you can at least have half the cast doing dumb shit and the other half just sitting there laughing as like these random characters. And then you could do what Edgar Wright did, where you use the same actors, they're all comedies, even though they're all different stories, but you use the same actors and they just play different characters. And I think that could work for something like Jackass. And trust me, I want Jackass 4 more than anyone on this entire planet, but if they're never gonna go that route, I'd like to at least see them try again, but this time with the entire family.
Hello, my name's Johnny Knoxville, and I'm about to end this movie.
What?